One of the many ways in which you can create complaints or cases is via a capture solution like Ephesoft. On the screen you can see the Ephesoft application, and we're going to go ahead and select some files from the desktop and upload them, just as we might select from a scanner. First, let's go ahead and select a couple of documents with multiple pages in it. You can see Ephesoft was processed that, and now they're ready to start the batch. Notice the success, meaning the batch has been started, and Ephesoft is interrogating all the pages of data. Here on the Ephesoft screen, you'll see a list of batches that are ready for review. Notice the batch names and then the status, ready for review. What we can do now is double-click, and this is the list of the documents that all came in and ingested on that last scan and/or upload. From Ephesoft's classification scheme, you can see that the system recognized that valid documents came in, like this employment discrimination complaint, an attachment that talks about harassment, yet another complaint with an attachment, and also one that was sort of a bad document that somehow got in the stack of papers. We're not interested in scanning a pizza menu, so we'll go ahead and hit delete, and notice now that that's deleted from the batch. If there were no errors or no pages that came in that weren't recognized, the system would have just moved on through this step and a user interaction would have had to have happened. But now we recognize that all the lights are green, and we'll go ahead and hit review, and that means move on to the validation stage. The next step in the Ephesoft process is validation. Here's where various metadata or fields get extracted off of pages. This is all based on configuration, of course. Here you can see there's Sally and her address. You can see how Ephesoft was able to automatically grab those metadata fields and put them on the screen. And as a user, I'm just verifying that, as well as the employer name and then the categorization of the complaint, which ultimately all this information will be ingested into ArkCase. The last step in the Ephesoft process that completes the scanning and/or upload is the validate. I'm going to hit validate. It's going to prompt me to validate this batch. You want to proceed further. And as a user, I'm going to go ahead and select OK. What happens behind the scenes is Ephesoft is processing and extracting all the information, dumping it to an area where ArkCase can pick it up and then ingest as a complaint directly into the system. After Ephesoft exports the batch, we're going to go ahead and log in as a user in ArkCase. We'll go to the complaints area, and here you'll see two complaints from the scanned files that were just ingested. Here's the first one. Notice all the information that was extracted right from the pages, as well as information from Ethan, his phone information, everything that was entered on the page. So automatically, two complaints were ingested right into ArkCase and ready for processing. Lastly, let's look at the documents or the documents that we had actually captured from Ephesoft and how they show up in ArkCase. Here we're clicking on the Documents node under this specific complaint. We'll double click and we'll launch the ArkCase viewer, and what you'll see on the screen is the actual complaint that we had uploaded and/or scanned. Next, you'll see the associated attachment that had to do with that original complaint. This is their performance review document that was part of the performance appraisal that this person was complaining about. So as you can see, in one step, you can scan documents, upload documents, and automatically ingest into ArkCase, have the complaint created, and send the documents as part of that complaint.